About what you were most proud of in your pavilion and what kind of was less successful, and if there are specific things you would have done differently, and then we can kind of come together and everyone have 5 minutes to talk about that.
One thing that I really liked was on Saturday morning there was a point when there was 2 sauerkraut makers from Berkeley, one from Oregon, one from North Carolina. Then we had the celebrity Sandor crowd in the booth also, and all these people had never been assembled before. So it was a real chance for people in their field to meet one another, and I think we're on our way to creating a pickle and chutney guild. Like to bring all these people together.
But what they did, you know, I wanted it to be, I had hoped that it would be a place to empower people to do it themselves, you know, to make their own jam, to get a beehive, or, you know, just to do it themselves. And so the space that was created was a backyard space. They used all our unused at the time berry boxes, and I thought it was magical.
Building, but they were so happy. I was like the last person they talked to before getting into the booth, and they were so thankful that they had all these treats and attention in the line that it became part of the experience. So that's what we're most proud of, I think, or I am.
It was like, you know, all roasters, green buyers, producers, people who really know coffee, leading the experiences. So it was just so great to see, you know, we had probably about 100 volunteers throughout the weekend, and it was, I mean, everybody was just glowing, even though we were all exhausted by the end, because it was the best coffee event that has ever happened.
Yeah.
All right.
And said it was, I mean, the feedback we got from everybody was this was the best event we've ever had in coffee, and I loved it.
I really feel that, and it was the same for the tea people. It was like the whole time we all were walking on a little cushion of air. I mean, it was like the most amazing tea people come together. Everybody hung their business coat on the door, and it was all about sharing, and it was some incredible tea also, and it was like
the help from the last upside, like the help of the Claire team was fantastic. I had an area manager which was a cross between Wonder Woman and Hulk Hogan, and she was amazing. So I mean, I'm not used to have events and you have people that does the thing you asked for. I mean, you know, we need a postdoc there. The postdoc does
lives, you know, like there's sort of a jaded, you know, another beer festival. And since this was so different, I was able to really kind of get a bunch of brewers and people who tend to skip those things to actually be there and be the people pulling the tap handles and running into the cask cellar and pouring the beer. So that was just to connect them kind of back to why this is why we do this. It was kind of an amazing thing, and to see that work out really well.
But I also think that you know, one thing we didn't do that I think the potential was there for that I didn't really see is to quite have a coherent educational program. I mean, we had like a lot of great images of a lot of great bakeries. What was really interesting was how much variety there was in the bread that was in the bread museum, and you know, the oven building and the milling and all that added variety. But there was no kind of overarching program, which there could have been.
Came about when I think there was just one site, and it was just going to be at Fort Mason, and so when there became multiple sites, we decided, well, the whole event still needs to be bottled water free. For the most part, we were thrilled. We've got tons of press and the phone rings at least once a week asking if we'll curate your event with bottled water free.
Every time I went in there working with you all, that I haven't been energized like that walking into an office since Eugene McCarthy. I'm not kidding. It really, every time I went in there, it reminded me of that kind of passion and that kind of purpose, and I really appreciated you all doing that. So thank you.